Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're still talking about fractions in math, and today we're going to talk about fractional parts. Here I have 2 sugar cookies that I made, delicious sugar cookies. Let me show you this first one. This one has a rocket ship on it. I hope you can see that. This one has a spaceship on it. I hope you can see that. Okay, I made them out of Play-Doh. If you have any Play-Doh, now would be a great time to go and get it and get some kind of a knife or some kind of a cutting tool for you to cut the Play-Doh with. You can pause the video now and go get it. Okay, now what we're going to do with these cookies is we're going to practice cutting them. So I'm going to take my little Play-Doh knife and I'm going to cut this first cookie in half. So let's see what that looks like when I cut it in half, okay? That 1/2 means that I'm gonna have, halves means, let me write this down, halves means that I have 2 equal parts, right? I'm gonna have 2 equal parts when I'm done, okay? Go right down the middle. Okay, I think I have 2 equal parts. Let me peel it up a little bit and let's see. I think I do. I think I got it. Okay, there you go. A little crookedish. A Play-Doh cookie, a little crookedish there. That's all right. Okay, I have 2 halves. Here's 1/2. And here is 1/2. Remember the number on the bottom tells us how many equal parts we have. Okay, now let's move over to the alien ship cookie. And let's divide this one into thirds. It's a little harder to divide a circle into thirds. Halves is easy. You just go right down the middle and you make a straight line. But thirds, you kind of have to find the middle spot. And then from the middle spot, you go up to 12 o'clock. And then you go out to about 4 o'clock, if this were a clock face. And then you go over to about 8 o'clock, if this were a clock face. And then you hope that you got it right. It just seems to be a little more difficult. I'm going to spread them out a little bit now for you so you can see. There's one part. There's one of my 3 parts. And here's another of my 3 parts. And here's the third of my 3 parts, okay? So now I have divided this cookie into thirds, and I think they're about the same size. Let me take one of the pieces and lay on top of the other and see if it looks like it's the same size. Yeah, just about. And now let me lay it on the other. Yes, just yes. I did pretty good, but let me tell you what, it has taken me a long time to be able to take a circle and to divide it into 3 equal parts. That is not easy. You make yourself a Play-Doh circle and try to cut it into thirds and see how difficult it is. Okay? Now what I want to do is to divide this Play-Doh circle from halves into fourths. Now, how difficult is that going to be? You know, I think instead I'll just go ahead and use another cookie. Okay, so I'm going to put this cookie up here. Lucky for me, the Play-Doh sticks to my whiteboard. Now we're going to divide this one into fourths. Okay, which means we're going to have how many equal parts? That's right, 4. Okay, over here we had 3 equal parts, didn't we? And each part was one of the 3 one of the three, one of the three, one of the three, one of the three. Okay, now we're going to divide this one into fourths. Okay, how hard do you think it's going to be to divide it into fourths? You think it'll be easy? How many pieces do we need? 4, that's right. And here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to divide it in half. Then I'm going to divide each half in half. So that should be pretty easy. Okay, divide this in half. Yep, I think that's pretty good. Then I'm going to divide each of these halves in half. Look at it, make sure it looks pretty good. I think it does look pretty good. Okay, you can probably even see my lines between the pieces, right? Okay, I don't even have to pick it up and move it, I don't think. No. Okay, so we have 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Each part is 1/4, and we know that it takes 4 fourths to make one whole. Each part is 1/4. And that's a fourth, and that's a fourth, and that is a fourth, okay? It was easy to divide this circle into fourths because we just divided it in half and divided it in half again. If somebody asks you, hey, can I have some of that cookie? And you say, sure, how much do you want? How do you know how much to give them? A lot of times Mr. Radcliffe will say, hey, can I have some of your candy bar? Or all of it. Sometimes he does ask to just have my candy bar. And I'll say, sure, you want a bite or how much? And then he'll say, no, just break me off a little bit. Well, how much is a little bit? Do you want half of it or a fourth of it? It's almost easier for me if he says, maybe a fourth of it. Then I can kind of eyeball with my eye. Here's my candy bar. We're going to pretend like this is my candy bar. I can kind of figure out about how much is half and then about how much of that is half. So there we go. I divided it into fourths. I divided it in half, and then I divided each half in half, and that's how we make fourths. And then he gets this little bite right here, and I get the rest. Okay, now I want us to do something else. Now that we've talked about dividing shapes into halves and thirds and fourths, and remember, the bigger the number on the bottom, the smaller the set, right? This fourth is smaller than this third. Can you see that? Let me show you where they separate. Yeah. And this fourth is definitely smaller than this half. Can you see that? I think you can. Okay. Okay. I'm going to remove my Play-Doh for now. And we're going to do another little quick activity. I'll clean this up. And it's clean. There we go. All right. I'm going to put some shapes up on the whiteboard, and we're going to try to match them up. Okay. Problem solving. Remember, I'm going to put them up just in a random order. And we might even have to turn some of them around to get them to match. Hope you're looking for matches already. And since this one is left over, we'll start with this one. Okay. Now we're looking for a match for this one. Okay, if I had it this way, then all of my shapes would be on the open to the left. And I know that I can't put these shapes together like this, none of them, because if I put it over here, it's going to touch blue every single time. Okay, so I know that whatever shape I get, I'm going to have to turn it around. I can see that this is a rectangle. So what do you think I'm looking for up here? Another rectangle maybe. I'm not saying that this is 1/2 of the shape. It may be 1/3 of the shape, or it may be 1/4 of the shape, but we're definitely looking for rectangles. I'm going to move this in a little bit for the rest of the lesson. Okay, is this a rectangle? Yes. Is this it? No. How about this? Is this it? No. How about this? Well, these are rectangles, but they're rounded on the edges, so I'm not thinking that's it. That is not a rectangle. Those are rectangles. Let's try this. There it is. There's our first set. This is a rectangle that was divided into fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the first piece I had shown you was 1/4. This part is 3/4. Okay, we'll slide him down to the bottom since he's done. Okay, let's try another one. Let's just pick this guy right here. What does that look like? Half of an oval, maybe. So let's see if we spot another half of an oval. I spot it. It's right here. Okay, so let's move it down, turn it around. Yes, that's it. Okay, each part was 1/2. We know this because it was divided into 2 parts. Each part was 1/2. Each part is one of 2 parts. Okay, let's move that down, clear our fraction, go for the next piece. I'm going to put him right here. Okay, what do you see? They're rectangles with rounded edges. Do you see another rectangle without rounded edges? No. Yes, there it is. Okay, and so there it is. There's the match. And so these rounded edged rectangles are a set of fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a set of fourths. Okay. And this is 2 of the 4, which is the same thing as 1/2. Okay, 2/4 is the same thing as 1/2. All right, we got that one matched up. Let's move this down. Okay, let's go for the next one. Yeah, I think it's this one, short short rectangle. Yes, that's it, those match. And so this shape, this rectangle has been divided into what? Thirds, that's right, because there is 1, 2, 3 parts. There are 3 parts. So each part, beginning with this one is 1/3. This part is what? 2/3. 1, 2 of the 3 sets. Okay? All right. And, I'm going to say real quick, well, because we've had trouble with thirds. If I had a group of objects and I had 2 objects, in each smaller set, I have 2 objects here. I have 2 objects here. I have 2 objects here. These might be turtles. They might be keys. They could be anything. They could be Legos from your Lego collection. They could be LOLs. They could be anything. But if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of whatever, how much is 1/3 of them? How much is 1/3 of the 6? 1/3 of the 6. This number here means I have to have 3 sets. Here's a smaller set, here's a smaller set, here's a smaller set. I do have 3 equal sets. Here's one, here's one, here's one. How many are in one of the 3 smaller sets? 1, 2. So 1/3 would equal 2, whether it's 2 turtles or 2 keys, 2 Legos, 2 LOLs, 2 cookies, whatever it is. Okay, so that's just another refresher on the thirds. Okay, I'll move that down. Okay, now those don't go together. None of these go together. We'll just take this guy over here and let's find his partner. This looks like part of a picket fence to me. Okay, I'm looking for more picket fence, I think here. So I'll move that over. There we go. We got us a picket fence. We got us a little fence. Okay, so let's talk about this first part over here. What fractional part has this been divided into? This has been divided into, well, how many parts are there? 1, 2, 3. So it's been divided into thirds, right? Okay, so the first part was how many of the thirds? 1, 2. The first part was 2 thirds. And this second part over here was 1/3. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one. I hope this is getting easier and easier for you. I know what that is. That's half of a heart. Here's the other half. Okay. All righty. Okay, this heart has been divided into how many smaller equal sets? 1, 2. It's just been divided into halves. And each part is one of the 2 halves. Okay. All right, and let's just pull this one down. I see his partner right here. You see that the sun is kind of glaring. Okay, let's bring it down, match him up. Now, how many parts has this one been divided into? Hopefully you can tell. 1, 2, 3, 4. So each part of this rectangle is a fourth. How many fourths was this part? This part was 2/4, wasn't it? And this part was 2/4. And they're the same, aren't they? 2/4 is the same thing as 2/4. And we know that 2/4 is the same thing as 1/2. It's the same thing. This is half and this is half. There's 4 equal little parts, and 2 of them together and 2 of them together makes 2 equal little halves, which makes them halves. Okay, and the last one here, what is that? That's our hexagon, okay? And our hexagon has been divided into halves. There are 2 parts. This part is one of the 2 parts, okay? That's the end of our math lesson today. So today I want you to work in your workbooks and do page 245 and 246. And I'll see you next week with more fun math lessons. I love you. Bye.